But if you close your eyes.
Hello everyone, welcome to CodeRate. From this video onwards, we are starting a tutorial to convert machine learning code into a working website. Machine learning is a very trendy topic in today's time. Due to the abundance of data available, machine learning provides us a pathway to convert this raw data into some meaningful insights and use it to provide business solutions in a most efficient way in terms of money and time. The steps we follow to get a machine learning solution for a problem statement is that we gather the data, we clean it, we convert it into a NumPy array of suitable form, we choose the algorithm we want to use, and we train the model and calculate the accuracy, and repeat the whole process to get the best result. We do all this in just a Jupyter notebook or a simple Python code where the output is just a cell of a Jupyter notebook or a console screen. But when we participate in hackathons or do projects, the output of the whole process must be a good product to look. That is, a user interface where the user can interact and provide the input and get the desired output. A simple solution for converting your machine learning code into a website is Flask. Flask is a Python framework used for converting your machine learning or any Python code into a working website. Flask is very easy to use and very user friendly, hence it is very popular. Flask can be installed in a very few steps. It's just pip install Flask or you can install it from the GitHub repository. In this video, we'll be using the Iris Flower dataset to demonstrate the basics of Flask. The Iris dataset can be seen here. It has 4 input values, the sepal length, width, petal length and the petal width, and the output is basically 3 classes. We'll be taking these input values from the user, and when the model is trained, we'll get the following output. Now let's see how to do this in a Python project using Flask. We'll be using PyCharm for this process. PyCharm is a very good IDE for running Python projects. This is the app.py file and is the main file for a Flask project. This is where the whole website is controlled and we do the routing. For initializing a Flask project, we have to import Flask. Now we'll initialize the app by calling the constructor. We have to run the app, so we'll write a statement if the name is main, the app function will run. We'll set the debug property as true so that whenever we change this file, the server will restart itself. Now we'll define the routes for the website. This is the default route for the website and we'll define a function for it. Every function has to return something. Flask provides us a way to return an HTML page when a function is called. For that, we have to import the render template module in Flask. We'll be rendering the home.html page. That's this page. But before that, we'll have to initialize our model and train it. For that, we'll be importing the Iris model from sklearn. We'll train this model using the k-nearest neighbor algorithm. For that, we'll import the KNN module. We have to split the training data and testing data, so we'll also import it. Now we'll load the dataset. We'll also initialize the model and set the number of neighbors as 3. This number has to be an odd number. Now we'll split the dataset. The iris.data gives us the data and the iris.target gives us the class values. Then we'll train the model using the fit function. We'll have to save this model into a pickle file. That is, pickle file is used for serialization. We have to import pickle. We'll use the dumps function to convert this into a pkl file. WB stands for write binary. Now we'll define another route. This route will be accepting form values. So we have to define the methods. Then we'll define the predict function. The form values the user enters here will be saved in the function. For that, we have to import the request module from Flask. Then we can collect the form values over here. We'll be importing all the 4 values. And we'll be forming a numpy array. For that, we have to import numpy. We'll be saving the array as form array. We have to also deserialize the pickle file into model. RB stands for read binary. We'll be giving the form array into the predict function and calculating the first value of the array and storing it in the prediction value. From this, we'll be getting the values entered by the user, and when the submit button is called, the predict function will get invoked. Now I'll show you the HTML code for this. The home.html contains a heading in h1 tag and a form. The form action attribute is set for URL for predict, that it will search the predict function and it will get executed. And the method is post. Here we enter all the values and press the submit button. When the submit button is clicked, the program will search for the predict function. Here we have to set if the prediction values and set the classes for it. We can see the classes iris versicolor and the iris virginica. We will be sending this result value as a parameter to the result.html page. In the result.html page, there's an h1 tag, and using the Jinja template, we have collected the value of result, so that when the submit button is clicked, the result will be shown as this. Now we'll run the app.py file and see the result. The app.py file is running and we can check the website. We reload the website and see there's a slight change in the code. It's pickle.dump instead of pickle.dumps. Now as we can see, the website is running, and when we enter the values, you can see the model has predicted that according to the values entered, the flower is Iris setosa. In the next video, we'll be modifying this web page and making it more good looking, and we'll also show how to show photographs using Flask on the HTML page according to the conditions of the Python code. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you. Next video, we'll be making the result page more attractive by displaying the image of the selected class. We'll be doing this in the app.py file by checking the predicted class by the model, and we'll be displaying only that image and sending that image to the HTML file. This is considered as a good practice instead of calculating the image on the HTML files using the Jinja template. Please like the video and share it, and subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching.